Hi everyone, Linnell here with Expats Toolkit. Today we're going to talk about what you need to do 3 months before your departure date of moving abroad. You've booked your flight, you've secured your visa, and now you're on to the next few steps of moving abroad. We're getting down to the crunch time. Don't get overwhelmed. I've got a checklist for you that will walk you through the process of what you need to do. First things first, we need to still talk about purging our things. And we really need to get down to the nitty-gritty. That means you need to set those piles up of donate, give to family or friends, to I think I want to take with me, and make sure that you're really eliminating all those items that you really don't need. Have a garage sale or go to a consignment shop and see if they will take some of your items. I sold a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace, which is a great resource. Poshmark for clothes, eBay. There's tons of options out there. You just have to find what is the market for the items that you're trying to sell. Remember, less is more when it comes to moving abroad. Speaking of moving, what are you going to do with your car? At this point in the game, I would suggest not to have your car shipped, but to have it sold. And this is where you need to either decide if you're going to privately sell that car or if you're going to work with a dealer. If you lease a car, you need to terminate that lease plans. All of these things need to be narrowed down by this point. If you sell your car before your actual exit date, one thing you can do is just rent a car for the temporary or borrow someone's car. But have a plan ready for selling the car and get it done. Moving out. Well, you need to coordinate if you're renting with your landlord and let them know your move out date. Schedule that date, have a cleaning service and clean it so that you can get your deposit back, but let the landlord know that when you're moving out. If you're selling your home, you need to make sure that you have it on the market. Hopefully you've already listed it by this point. Depending on your market, that will vary as to how quickly it will sell, but work with your real estate and letting them know your plans and also how you handle this if your house sells before you leave. And if it doesn't sell before you leave, how will you close on that house while living abroad? All of those details need to be kind of hammered out with your real estate agent before you depart your home country. This is a good time to hook up with an immigration service and start working on the paperwork that needs to be done in order to get your residency permit. It's nice to do this while you're in your home country because that way you can gather documents that may be needed at the time. These agents are experts. They are great help to navigate the system because obviously you're not only navigating a new language, but a new governmental system. And I'd be willing to pay that extra fee that it's going to cost for them to do the process, especially the first time. That way it's easier for you. Touch base with your embassy in your host country and let them know when you plan to arrive there, where you're living, your address, anything that you can give them. And also become a member of the STEPS program, which is a way for the embassy to reach out to you to let you know if there's something going on in your country. For example, we had a major earthquake in Turkey. We got notice about that. But it's a good way for the embassy to be aware of where you are and what situations you may need to be notified about if something arises. I know taxes are never fun to talk about, but you really should go ahead and either file your tax returns or get all the document needed for your accountant or whoever's handling your taxes for that year. Get all that taken care of before you move. You'll also want to find out in your host country, what are your tax implications? Do you have to pay on income that you're generating overseas? What is the percentage? How do you file? All of that good stuff. Your immigration service might be able to help you, but if not, you need to reach out to someone that can kind of navigate you through that process. You'll want to stay connected, obviously, with your cell phones. So this is a good time to get an international plan on your phone, either by purchasing a eSIM or rolling your phone over into a internet phone service like Google Voice. You'll have to do that before you depart your home country in order for it to work. An eSIM is good if you are not sure you want to stay in your host country forever and ever, It's all done on a cloud, so you don't ever have to open up your phone and put a SIM card in. It's very simple to use. I use a company called Airlo, and I'll leave the link below for you to access. It works pretty much anywhere in the world. I find it a very inexpensive way to go about it. You can purchase a SIM card in your host country once you arrive, but that usually means you have to take apart your phone and put that card in and then keep up with your home country SIM card, which is kind of a little tiny thing to keep up with, and it's not so much fun to track. You'll want to do all this before you part your home country so that you have accessible phone service once you arrive. Don't let your healthcare take a back seat. Make sure at this point you go get all your prescriptions filled, you visit the doctor, do a checkup, you get an eye exam. When you visit your eye doctor, get an extra script to take with you. Go visit the dentist. Anything medically that you need, take care of it now. And you won't have to navigate that for a while in your host country. It's also a good time while you're doing all these medical visits is to collect medical records so that when you do establish a doctor in your host country, you can share those records with him or her. Either digital documents, which is best, but if you have to get paper, and scan them to the cloud, and that way you'll have access to them. Research transportation systems in your host country and find out what it is that they use. Do they have an app that you need to download? And where do you buy the ticket? And where do they have a station to refill if you get a card ride? So these are some things that you'll want to research at this point and find out what you need to do so that when you arrive, you can use that public service as much as possible. This is kind of a time when you can do a cultural crash course. Start learning their etiquettes. Find out what is their norms. You might talk to some other expats and their experiences. I know for me, one of the norms that I kind of had to get used to was taking off my shoes when I visited someone, or if you go visit a friend, you're always supposed to show up with some type of gift or dessert or something. These are things that you can find out from other people. There's tons of information on the internet to learn from. I did a video about cultural differences and how to navigate that on my Expats Toolkit channel. But don't go there just blindly and not knowing anything. It'll definitely make your transition go much easier. If you can't bear to part with your sentimental items, then you need to have a plan for a storage facility in your home country to put those items. I know when we first made the decision to move, there was a lot of things I wasn't sure about. So we put a lot of our items in storage. And when we came back to the US to visit, we quickly went through it and said, oh yeah, we don't need this, we can sell this. These are some things that we may want to take. But this is an easy way to kind of handle that. If it's things like photo albums, that sort of thing, you might want to give them to your kids if they're pictures of your children. Or if they're pictures of something that you really don't want to give up, then you'll want to scan those photos into like a Shutterfly album. There's tons of albums out there that you can use that are digital, and that way you can access them anytime and enjoy them. But carrying that to the host country takes up a lot of space that you're just not going to have. So something to think about. To help cope with your homesickness, I suggest that you get a Fire Stick. And you can plug this into your television. Will allow you to access Netflix and all these different channels from your home country. I don't know, it helped me because I could flip on the television, hear people speaking my language, watch some of the shows I enjoyed, watch movies, all that good stuff, because you have to remember you're moving to a new country, so everything is going to be in their language, their TV, and so forth. This is also when you'll want to get a VPN, which will allow you to access like Netflix and such, because it's going to recognize that you're not in your home country. I'll leave a link below on purchasing a Fire Stick and a VPN. Set up all your bills that you're still going to have in the US or wherever your home country is. Automatically bill pay. Get it going before you depart your home country to make sure it's all correct. Wow, we've covered a lot today in the process of how to go about moving abroad. I hope that you'll find that this information is helpful, and give me a thumbs up if you do. You'll be well on your way to a smooth and exciting transition into your host country if you follow these simple steps. There'll be a downloadable link below that will walk you through check off of all the things that you need to do. Remember, Expats Toolkit is here to help you in this process. I'm doing everything I can to lay it out as simple as possible. Each country is going to be different. Each process is different. But these are the basics of what everyone is going to have to go through. Make sure to check out the description below as I leave lots of links to things I've talked about today in this video, as well as links to other videos that you can go and watch about this process of moving. Moving abroad is exciting, but it is also very stressful. So I want you to understand that I'm here today to be a part of your team to make that process go much easier. Until next time, happy adventures. Thank you for watching.